Shrine of the Storms, I believe. I believe this was the group that we are joining
What is it?
right now. It's going to be interesting.
Stay
We
the
got
course.
2 rogues and the priest as our damage dealers, and well, melee heroes are not the greatest on this one. But they are rogues, so they can at least handle the last boss like pretty damn easily. So that should be nice. Hopefully. So we're just gonna head out there. I mean, that's where we go, right? Yeah, okay. There's a rogue there. So I just need to get to the flight master. And we're just gonna help with the summons and stuff, as always. As always, Shrine of the freaking Storms team. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be definitely hard. Like, so there's a lot of positioning required in this particular instance, and it can get nasty. Like, positioning is kind of hard usually, and there's gonna be a lot of going into buff zones, out of buff zones, and that stuff.
Our destiny is nearly upon us. They must not enter the Shrine of the Storm.
Okay, if you say so. Why would you? It didn't even like show up as a world quest or anything. Lord Stormsong, you want to like explain yourself? What's happening? Why did you just talk to us in our head for no reason? Luckily, you can just like fly into here. As long as you discover this flight master point, you just fly straight to the dungeon. It's very convenient. Except I am in war mode, so I can't even help them out. Okay, so that shaman is in war mode, not in war mode, so I'm just gonna go straight into the dungeon. I believe these boys can handle stuff. I'm just gonna wait for them inside. Just wait for them inside.
There is strength in these pools. With the power of the tide pure water, our they will add to our unstoppable.
Makes no sense how Rexar is here.
Must not claim this prize. All who oppose us will fall. Now, let the hunt begin.
Yeah, let the hunt begin. Moat of pure water collected. Okay then, where do we collect it from? It doesn't tell us. It's like, what? How do we complete it? Where do we get it from? Probably from the first boss maybe, or something? That would make sense. Oh yes, the good old Earth Shield. Let's go, boys. Let's go, boys. I'm gonna wait for that Templar to come back and kill him, cause God knows we are going to wipe, and this boy is going to be like killing people and they resurrect and stuff, so wanna get rid of that. And so he is pulled, as predicted. Come on, team. Come on. Hey. Hey. Team. Team. Come on. There we go. There we go. So Templars should always be your primary focus, because they have this area of effect buff on them. And aura, allies within 10 yards take 75% less damage. So you either crowd control them, or you just like... Nah, screw it, I'm gonna just pull everything. You either crowd control them, or you straight up murder them first. Well, I feel like murdering them is easier. As long as you interrupt other boys, it should be a no problem. Those water blasts just ruined my life. I should definitely use spell reflect there. So that's the other part about the shaman healing, is that you will be dropping heals. You shouldn't like panic about it, cause well, shamans heal you stronger the lower your health is. So it kind of like naturally progresses to... So like it naturally happens that your health would be a bit lower, but that's only for the best almost, right? Like you really shouldn't worry about that. So I'm just gonna pull these guys as far out as possible, so that we don't pull any other nonsense. I used my spell reflect a bit too early, Wash away, make sure that we don't get hit by that nonsense. And yeah, Spell Reflect was completely wasted there. You will always want to kind of use it right at the moment where it's gonna get the value, because you never know what's gonna happen. So we're gonna pull the Templar, just like kill him, isolated him from all his allies, and this should be relatively easy to get this stuff done. Even though there are droplets here that are taking less damage now, those droplets are super low health, so that's not like a big problem. I believe oh yeah, I got... Okay, I see. So I need to make sure that Templar always faces away from people, otherwise he is gonna ruin their lives. Nice old stun. So far, we are doing this really well. Like, people wipe a lot on this initial pull because they just pull everything and whatnot, but it's been pretty good so far. Just like make sure that you dodge every single wash away, because this living current will do that thing to you, and if you are standing inside the washaway zone, just like bad things are going to happen when you land, after you land. The Templar has been pulled. Okay, boys, let's kill the Templar then. I'm gonna interrupt the attendant so that he comes closer. Oh, that sucks. So they are trying to kill the attendants, but I feel like that's a waste of DPS. We would have already killed the Templar and started working on the attendants if we focused them that way. I'm gonna stun him so that he doesn't stun my whole team, hopefully. Like, see how long it took us to kill those attendants? Yeah, that's annoying. Had to use all of my defensives too to survive here. We can skip this, especially after we pulled the Templar already. I'm just gonna like make sure to kill all these droplets so that they don't bother us much. We're gonna summon the boss. The boss is going to be summoned in the middle. That's not the guy.
With your presence, I call upon the surging.
So let's hope nobody pulls that nonsense.
Arise and wipe out these intruders.
This boss is going to be quite annoying because he puts this debuff on your allies that slows them down, and then you dispel the debuff, and it like explodes like lots of stuff like that. All of those explosions, that's what happens when you dispel the debuff, which you kind of have to do, so everyone needs to dodge it. And that creates a lot of chaos for your allies, and that's obviously gonna make things harder. Yes, also that those roots, people are getting rooted. Undertow, it will push people away from the platform, so you always want to position yourself in such a way that you wouldn't just straight up die from it and whatnot, right? Surging Rush also is being cast every once in a while. Boss will charge, people get pushed back. Don't stand on the edges because you're gonna fly off. You're gonna make sure you're careful, and then this nonsense happens, and this is kind of hard because this thing is gonna start casting spells into your allies, and you want to kind of get aggro on as many things as possible as a tank, right? You want to make sure that you cold aggro to every single boy down here, avoiding the surging rushes, of course, and the priest should just go and die, kill themselves right now instead of doing that. Priests should have killed themselves because they messed up big time, so yeah, they should have just killed themselves instead of killing us all. And that was just a horrible just call to go back. They died anyway, so yeah. Okay, team, let's kill the boss, please. Please kill the boss. Please. There we go.
A fine kill.
Shield wall.
Prey retreat.
Let's stand in here. That way we're gonna get a bunch of haste. Oh damn. Okay. They are also gonna get a bunch of haste, but I don't care about that much. I'm gonna go let's stand. Should be able to survive anything now. And we're gonna, yeah, we can handle ourselves. This group can handle themselves, at least for the most part. It feels nice. Cause last group, man, that was something. Major swiftness word, so you just use this word to kill them faster. Like you gotta make sure that like, everyone stands in it. It's better to move the thing away from the word, but who cares about that? It's even better to use that word to kill those two guys. You can like pull them close to the word, all of your DPS, start killing them, and that's some good stuff right there. So modes of pure water are like there. I don't know what I guess you're supposed to collect them or something, and we didn't do it, so who cares really, I guess. Let's stun them all so that my boys don't get stunned. And we're gonna go from there. There we go. Easy peasy. You don't even have to avoid anything. So Blessing of the Iron Sides is what you should be very careful about as a tank, because that stuff is going to wreck your face. Gonna interrupt that blast. I don't have my stun just yet. Any of my stuns really, so I'm gonna fear them. I don't know if I think I feared them too late. Well, whatever the case, I'm gonna start kiting now because of the Iron Sides blessing. Oof. Oof, that hurts. Wonderful. But yeah, we are able to handle ourselves, and that's good. Are we like skipping them? Is that even possible? So the problem with this is that if we happen to die, we're gonna have to come back here and kill those boys. But that guy is a bit annoying. He can kill your allies like incredibly easily, right? Like the whole thing about that guy is that he creates this rune protection on the ground, and everyone is supposed to walk into it. And if they don't do it, he will just like target somebody with one of his spells and just kill them. Like you need to be like an amazing healer in order to save somebody from death there. So they like kind of have to do this thing where they walk into the rune, and it can be annoying when people don't do that. This ability, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do here. Usually it's like everyone just takes a lot of damage, so you better be prepared. It would be nice if the priest came closer in here, that way the shaman can unroll their chain heals and whatnot and just like get some really good, really easy AoE heals done. Wow, those rogues are doing a lot of self-healing thanks to Leech. Oh, look at them all stacked up and stuff. Look at them all stacked up like that. That's so convenient. That's so incredibly convenient. So I'm just gonna do everything I got here. Gonna use everything I have. Keep clapping, keep stunning. Pretty cool things are happening, I feel like. Gonna shield wall to be able to survive this. And this was a very satisfying pull. Look at our DPS, by the way. The power of the Thunderclap Warrior. Jesus Christ. Oh, that's a... Oh, really? We can do this. Now this is fun and interesting. Okay. Good to know. Really good to know. Like, seriously, this is incredibly convenient. Huh. I didn't know about this one. I always like went down the middle there. I believe you still need to kill those two guys, so there is no point in skipping like this, since you're gonna need to kill those two anyways. Right? But I guess that way you don't pull the ones on the very left, right? So there is still value in this. It's just not as huge as you would think, right? You don't skip everything, you just make it slightly easier for you to pull things. Because these guys are going to patrol, and they will come back there. And if somebody just decides to stand there and hang out, they are gonna get killed. I'm just gonna pull these ones just in case. Just to make sure that everything is nice and good. And yeah, this should do it. So yeah, we should prioritize this boy. I need to make sure to move the boss. So here's the big problem with this boss fight. You have to interrupt. Wow, okay. You have to interrupt the gate. The Gale Caller, not the Gate Caller. You have to interrupt the Gale Caller when they are standing inside of their Swiftness ward. And if you fail to do that, they will just like stand there and keep casting that Slicing Blast. And obviously you don't want that to be happening. And lots of your good old friendly allies should make sure to get into those wards, because that's gonna just save their lives. Right? Bursting on the iron sides. It's gonna be all nice though. Move them out, try to move back in for a little bit of extra haste. And this is going really damn well. This is going really damn well. I'm gonna use Spell Reflect for the next Slicing Wind. There we go. I think I hit them. Maybe not? I don't know. I did try it. Okay. Blessing of the Iron Sides. I'm not afraid of your Iron Sides, my dude. Wow, this was a smooth pull. Like, this is kind of the hardest boss here. And this went incredibly well. Like, oh my lord, this went well. We don't even have to use that ward, really. The ward is only useful when the big boy is there. And the reason for that is because the ward... not the big boy. The wind boy. And the wind boy, they will be using... this AoE, wind blast type of a thing, right? And by moving into that reinforcing ward, you remove the debuff on your... that's on you. That increases the damage you take from those windy things, right? So that's where reinforcing comes in. You get saved. Everyone is nice and cool after that, and yeah, it's wonderful. So here you can pull those guys. It's very tricky though, so instead we're just gonna pull the left pack with the Ritualist, and yeah, it's gonna be like a much easier pull than handling this and like two of the Templar-ish boys. They aren't Templars, they are Enforcers, so they don't have that aura buff that reduces the damage your run takes. Instead, they just kill everyone with AoEs, and instead of just doing that, we're gonna kill this, and that's gonna do it. And this will just kind of... Murky Watcher, what is that? Oh, that's fun. Okay. Our rogue went on a trip. Our rogue went on a beautiful trip. Okay. But yeah, like handling that would be so much harder, because basically what would happen there is we'll be killing this and that at the same time, and in just a second we're gonna see what these guys are capable of, and that's just not fun. That's just not fun when you are also dealing with other things on your mind, right? So there we go, Deep Smash. It creates those zones, and your tank takes a lot of damage when they cast it. So, ouchie ouchie. That's ouchie ouchie. Lots of chaos, lots of loss in DPS, so just like going that way makes more sense. And now these two guys. It's just two spellcasters. It's just like nothing. It's not even a hard pack to handle. Oh no, they actually have reinforcements. Damn. That's sneaky. That's so sneaky. But you just kill them. It can be annoying, those slashes stack up, so you want to kill the tentacles relatively fast, like you don't want to get them going too much, right? You just handle them and you just move on with your life. That's exactly what we did and what we are going to do. Luckily here we can mount up and go, so no reason to waste time running on your feet. You can use your mount's feet instead. These two guys are also going to reveal the darkness. And we are going to handle it. We are going to handle it. Wow, they actually pulled aggro right there. That's impressive. Even with the like aggro nerfs for tanks, it's still kind of impressive on DPS pull aggro at times. Okay, that mental assault is annoying as hell, so those cultists, every once in a while, they will use mental assault and it will stun everyone in a cone in front of them, and you're supposed to avoid it. And the problem with the whole thing is that it's really hard to see where they are aiming it. So what you want to do, what you kind of want to do is there will be a spell effect. And in my experience, tracking that spell effect is much easier than tracking the actual like rotation of the mob, right? I'm gonna come in here and do less stand so that my allies get a little bit of healing in here. This is rough. But basically there is gonna be like this watery spell effect, and you are just like supposed to track it. Look at that. It's like they are seeping power or something, I don't know even. And oh no, I was distracted by trying to survive. Oh yeah, 30,000 damage on that boy with their own spell. That felt damn satisfying. But yeah, like that's the spell effect that you want to avoid. Like the moment somebody casts mental assault, look for those like watery things and just avoid them. It's kind of simple once you do it a couple of times, right? You just like to need to keep track of it and not get distracted, and you're gonna be just fine. We're gonna go left, because left is best. I don't know. Left is something. Left is something. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Stuff hurts, but oof. Nothing we can't handle really. Can I stun them? Hell yeah, I can, and you should. To the best of your abilities. Less slashes, the better. There are like 20 stacks on that poor priest.
Fleet is nearly yours, my queen.
This is a really fun boss fight. And we got a Zara showing up. That's a lot of fun too.
I shall cast your bodies to the blackened depths, to be crushed for eternity. Make peace with your queen, for your life ends
Let's see if our boys know what to do here.
Your head will soon be mounted on my wall.
So this is kind of straightforward really. It's just like tank and spank, interrupt void bolts, or spell reflect void bolts. Whatever works best for you. And I think I'm gonna try to do some fancy things. But this is like really straightforward. You just tank him. He will summon these giant orbs on the ground in just a second, wakens the void. You are just kiting them to the best of your ability really. And then one person will be corrupted with a parasite. And that person needs to try and kill the parasite on them as fast as possible. It's very important they kill the parasite, not themselves. So by running into those orbs, they will do a lot of damage to the parasite, and that's kind of what you do. That's kind of all you do. You just want to not overdo it and like not kill yourself, because that's gonna hurt. And if somebody who doesn't have a parasite on them runs into an orb, it does a lot of damage to them and stuns them. So the orbs are only for parasite people. Just like make sure that that's what you're doing. Just gonna try to stand inside this Earthwall totem to the best of my ability. That was like a prime opportunity for the reflect on the ball thing. It can get pretty damn well, 47,000 damage. That's freaking good. So yeah, it gets pretty damn hectic later on when there are like tons and tons of orbs all around, but they are really slow moving, so like it's not too big of a deal. And like if you know what to do on this boss, it's like incredibly easy to handle. Like there is, it's ridiculous. This group is wonderful. My god, I'm so happy. Such like a huge contrast to what we had in Azeroth.
Keep your senses sharp.
Did I miss out on some sick drops by having protection? Nope, I don't think so. Okay, cool. So, we don't actually get any good drops from this dungeon, do we? I guess we can replace our finger with not that great of a ring. And that's kind of it, yeah. But we are doing this for the experience, mostly. And the old gods, of course. And the old gods. Charging through water is the best, let me tell ya. Let me tell ya, charging through water is wonderful. So these eels hurt. So I will just like make sure to kite them more or less, and then stun them, and then just like handle them the best we can. And it seems like we did just that. Wonderful job. These boys are doing work. So these three guys, you need to make sure that you understand how to handle them. Like this is like the introduction to the boss mechanics right here. These big boys, floaty boys, cast Consume Essence, a very slow cast. That's the only thing they do as far as I know. I don't think they are doing any damage whatsoever. It's a very slow cast that you are supposed to interrupt as latest as possible. If you don't, they will heal up to full health and do a little bit of damage. So like make sure to interrupt them as much as you can, because that's what you're supposed to do. And if you fail those interrupts, the boss fight will take much longer, and well, you can fail more often and stuff, and that's annoying. So because their cast time is so damn slow, you want to make sure that you time your interrupts to like the latest point in the thing, in the cast time as possible, because that's how you get your cooldowns back for the next interrupt, right? And you want to have as many interrupts ready as possible. Our healer is ready. I'm just going to unload on the boss. Going to kite him as far away to the edge as possible, and we're gonna see in just a second why. You're gonna make sure not to fall off, by the way, because that's gonna be rough. Yawning Gate. This is the ability that we are trying to avoid. And I'm not gonna move the boss just like all the way out of here, just kind of standing him on the edge. So now we go to the like Void Realm. This denizen spawns, and it's me and the healer here. So the two of us are going to try and kill this thing as fast as we can, so that we can rejoin with our allies. And our allies can do the same, but usually tank and the healer are the first ones to kill things. Tentacles are gonna be spawning all the time all around you, so you're gonna make sure to avoid those to the best of your ability. But these guys seem to have handled the... there are two of these forgotten denizens spawning, so my boys handled the first spawn relatively well. Like they killed the one guy before we were even able to do anything, and that's kind of huge. Now we are bloodlusted, so we are going to try and do as much damage as we can. I'm gonna pull him closer to the edges here, that way my damage dealers have more time to deal with those manifestations, because if they reach the boss, they will explode in a lot of damage. Definitely want to prevent that from happening. There's a big boy tentacle coming in to kill us. I'm just gonna use less... Oh damn, that hurt. Gonna use less stand in here. I'm gonna shout for some health. Intercept. Wonderful. It's getting a bit hectic here. I'm gonna go back in a like in a straight line back here. Cause I don't want manifestations to be spawning in a... Oh, this is annoying, okay. Okay, another Sunken Denizen, another time for me and the healer to kill this boy. So you kind of want to almost like kite this guy, that way your healer has more time to do damage rather than healing you. This guy is moving real slow, and he's doing a lot of melee swing damage, so that's basically your job here as a tank. You kite him, let your healer do the DPS as much as they can, and just like make sure to kill this thing as fast as possible, rejoin with your allies, help them with the interrupts, and man, they are doing this great. Like, these rogues are really providing the interrupts we need for this, and it's freaking wonderful. I'm gonna save my interrupt for the boss. You can also see purple zones while in the Void Realm, so don't worry about that, and this should be a kill right here. Call the Abyss, summoning manifestations. I believe at this point we should just like focus the boss, really. We just kind of focus the boss, and we should be able to kill them before the manifestations come in, but just like to make sure, everyone is gonna go kill those manifestations first, seems like. They are taking a lot of damage though, so that's a bit scary. A little bit scary down here. Shield wall, there we go. Oof, this is a rough fight. This is definitely a very rough fight. But man, we handled it like decently well. People were just taking a lot of damage during the manifestations, but other than that, it's pretty fun. Look at how cool Queen Azara looks, by the way. That's her corrupted by the Void, right? By the old gods.
Enjoy this victory. It will be your last.
The pearl is ours. With it, our vessels will become predators.
The pearl? Okay, I really need to like finish the war campaign here or something, because I have no idea why the hell Rexar is here, why the hell we need this pearl, Azara stuff. This was a good group, my god, like this was fun. This run was actually a lot of fun. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I'm so ready for the next one. I am so damn ready for it.